Adam Wexler from KPRC down in Houston, sports reporter and anchor. And Adam, let's start with the Rockets, who have 31 wins, the third best record in the league. Only the Warriors and the Spurs are better than the Rockets, which is pretty impressive. So who gets all the credit for the Rockets being so good this season?
You got to give it to the Beard. He's the best player on the team. Everything runs through him. Everything they do well is because of him. He's very willing to give up the basketball this season, as he really was in years past, but I think he just has more trust that the players around him are going to finish plays, both on the interior with the bigs that he's running the pick and rolls with nonstop, and obviously they added shooters around him, and Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson. Pat Beverly's still shooting well. Trevor Ariza's shooting well. Sam Decker is shooting well. They're all getting wide open shots. He's the leading candidate for MVP, so he certainly gets the credit for them being on a better than 60-win pace, which would be a franchise best.
Adam, what was the reaction like down in Houston when the decision was announced that Mike D'Antoni was turning to James Harden to be the point guard of this team?
I think the reaction was good because they knew that that was probably what they should have done all along. While everything ran through Harden last year under Kevin McHale and J.B. Bickerstaff, that usually didn't even start until 10 or 12 seconds were left on the shot clock. Somebody else would bring the ball up. He'd have to free himself. He'd have to use screens or try to get himself the basketball. And sometimes he was 30 feet from the basket with the shot clock halfway over, and nothing has been done on offense. And the difference this year is he's got the ball the entire time. He brings the ball up the court. They set picks for him up top. They run the pick and roll. People are moving without the basketball. It just promotes a much more effort from everybody, including James Harden. So the reaction to that was, well, sure, the best player should be making doing everything that he can to make this team better, and it's played out that way brilliantly.
But the best player isn't always the best facilitator, and that's something that, getting into James Harden isn't necessarily something that Mike D'Antoni knew he could carry out for the full game. How did that play into it?
I think people just really missed the boat on James Harden before this season. People thought that he was selfish. People thought he wasn't a good player as a leader of a team, and that had more to do with the dynamic of the team, but clearly that had a little bit to do with who James Harden was then versus who he is now, and I don't know who helped him flip that switch. He's always been a spectacular passer, not a good passer, but a spectacular passer, phenomenal vision, a great control with the basketball, all those things, and they've certainly flourished under Mike D'Antoni, who's really basically put the team in his hands in every possible way. He's the emotional leader of the team. He's the mental leader of the team. Clearly, physically, in the basketball side of it, he is the leader of the team. And I think it's just the faith that they felt like if we're ever going to become an upper-level team on any kind of consistent basis, we have to put that trust in James. The organization did the very same thing when they re-upped with him when they didn't have to. They gave him the extension during the offseason. They're going to give him another mega extension as the CBA will allow for that. So they put all their eggs in the James Harden basket, and they feel great about it, and they should.